Generosity takes many different shapes and sizes, and one of the ministries of generosity that we've been involved in here at this church is Family Promise. For those of you that don't know, Family Promise is a ministry to help homeless families. It's a network of churches that are all involved in this, and I've asked the Davis family, Jennifer and Brian and their children Clay and Emily, and specifically Emily, to come and tell you a little bit about her experience with Family Promise and the difference it's made in her life and in the lives of others. Emily?
Hi, my name is Emily Davis, and I'm here to introduce a special program here at our church and a close family friend of mine. Family Promise is a program that allows homeless women and children to stay at different churches. The single moms and kids rotate churches every week. In order to be able to get into the program, the moms must go through a long process. Normally, only 3 single moms visit a church at a time. They usually have at least 2 children. The ages can vary from newborn to 14. Most of the families are very kind, but one stood out to me in particular. The summer of 2013, I met a girl named Carrington at Family Promise. Carrington is my age, but 1 grade older than me. She was shy at first, but once I got to know her better, she was so talkative. She told me a lot about her school and her dance. Carrington is such a sweet, loving, and kind person. I also met Miss Donaire, Carrington and Chloe's mom, that night. She had just got back from a long day at work, and I could tell that she was tired and just wanted a break. Even though she was tired, she stayed out in the play and kitchen area and talked to us about her job, her life, and just everything going on. Miss Donaire is the strongest woman I have ever met and has a very kind heart. That same night, I met a little girl that was full of energy. I asked her how old she was, and she responded in a stuffy but high-pitched voice that she was 3. She also held up 3 fingers indicating her age. From that moment on, I knew I would love her. A full and loving heart filled her. She wore braids in her hair with pink and white clips at the ends of them. She would shake her head in my face so that I could see and feel her beads. We raced up and down the long, empty church hallways. She thought she was the fastest person in the world because I let her win every time. This brave, strong 3-year-old's name is Chloe. She lit up the room when she entered it. When it was time for me to go home, Chloe asked me if I could spend the night with her. I had to say no and that someone else would be there with her. I told her I was coming back on Tuesday night to see her. With that, we went our separate ways. The Tuesday I saw them again, I brought Chloe a pair of green stone earrings for an early birthday gift. She loved them and gave me a warm and caring hug. Then my dad brought a birthday cake for Carrington's birthday, which was the next day. We carried it into the kitchen with candles shining as bright as Chloe's smile. Tears filled Carrington's eyes. I can pinpoint this event as the best thing that has ever happened to me. This event is indescribable. It felt like God had just come on earth and told me that I was doing the right thing. God had just filled my soul and my life. I can still picture this scene in my head and the joy in Carrington's face. A couple of months later, I received an email with outstanding news. It read that Miss Donaire had saved enough money to rent an apartment. My family and I helped them move into the apartment. We spent the whole day with them. Chloe was a ball of energy because she was proud of her mom for getting them a brand new home. We have spent the last 2 Christmases with them, which has been the most meaningful part of my holiday. They still live in the same cozy apartment today. Occasionally, we visit them. However, my mom still keeps in touch with Miss Donaire a lot. I am so glad I signed up for Family Promise that summer. Chloe helped me to see a deeper meaning than to just go and volunteer for something. Today, I still volunteer at Family Promise, and I join the committee for the program. I meet new families every time, but none like Chloe or Carrington. They stood out to me in many ways that no one would ever understand. I see God through them every day, and I thank Him for letting me able to meet them. So I am proud to introduce my friends and my family, Chloe, Carrington, and Miss Donaire.
You gotta hold me up.
Do this.
Good morning. My name is Donaire Murray. My two daughters and I had the wonderful opportunity of being guests of Family Promise after experiencing a series of losses, including my vehicle, housing, and employment. I am humbled to be able to stand before you today to share with you my experience. I do not believe this is a coincidence that I am speaking today because it is the new year, a time for refocus. So when I was contacted and asked to speak, I realized that this was a moment to reflect upon how far God has brought us and how faithful He has been to us. I can truly say that I am blessed beyond measure. Family Promise was a but God moment when I had nowhere to go, when I had no one to call upon. I prayed and God led me to go to North Fulton Community Charities. When I told the receptionist I had a need, she referred me to a new program that was forming called Family Promise. She did not know anything about the program, but there was something intriguing and comforting about the name Family Promise. After contacting and meeting with the executive director of Family Promise, my girls and I were soon checking out of the hotel where we had been staying for the past few months, and we checked in as guests at Roswell Presbyterian Church. Week after week, my girls and I moved from church to church for 6 months. To others, it may seem that moving week to week would be a grueling experience, but not with Family Promise. The volunteers, the congregations, the clergy made this a more fulfilling experience. Never were we frowned upon or judged for being homeless. Every congregation welcomed us with sincerity, support, and love, and they even had our names posted on our door. My experience with Family Promise was a time of refreshing in that for the first time in my life, I was able to receive the help and support I needed to restore my family and reestablish the foundation for my family. I have had so many wonderful experiences during the time I was a guest at Family Promise, but I want to tell you that it's bigger than homelessness. I realized that God spared us from experiencing the harsher side of homelessness. 12 congregations and places of worship, regardless of denomination or religious beliefs and practices, have united for a common cause, and because of that, my family received the gifts of true discipleship. I can never forget the warm hugs, encouraging words, and support this network of faith provided to me and my girls. I have been able to overcome the hurts and pain of my past experiences that could have left me scarred permanently. My family has now received a do-over in life. I am now gainfully employed at a school for children with learning differences. Family Promise volunteers, congregations, and clergy provided us with a safe haven, but also through sacrifices of their donations and time and service. You showed us what it means to live and not merely exist. So I say thank you, thank you, thank you to this wonderful organization for all that you have done for my girls and me. You all held our hands for a while, but you will hold our hearts forever. I could not have done it without you. Thank you.